welcome to another video. My name is Ilse and today I bring you my April wrap-up. I know it's a little late, but I haven't had time to film, and if you watch my latest video, which I think I announced my giveaway winners, I was sick. My nose was clogged, everything was just worse, like my throat hurt. So yeah, here I am right now. I'm feeling a lot better, and I just came from work. I just ate and I look decent because today was the picture day for my kids because they're graduating, they're going to first grade. So yeah, so here I am doing my April wrap-up. So in April I read 8 books, and holy shit was I surprised when I realized that I read 8 books. So I'm gonna tell you what those books are right now, so I hope that you stick around to know. This has been the month that I have read a lot, because usually I have read like 3 or 4 books like previous months, so I'm really happy that I've read more. So yeah, I'm gonna show you what the books are. The first book that I read is Love and You by Gretchen Gomez. I'm gonna put the picture of the book right here. She is one of my really close friends on BookTube. She started as a booktuber and she is now a book blogger, and I'm also gonna leave her book blog down below or somewhere here on the eye so you can check her out. She published her first poetry book, and this was the first book that I read, and holy shit was it really good. I obviously gave this book 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and basically this book or this collection of poetry, it dwells with how she dealt with like her anxiety and how she dealt with like her breakup and all of that stuff. So it's really like a very emotional and raw story. Like it's very personal to her. So yeah, I really enjoy it, and I think if you like poetry, I think this is a very good choice for you. After I read that, I read the part of the Raven Cycle Quartet, I guess you could call it. I read The Dream Thieves, and I don't have my book right now with me because it's upstairs right over there, and I really cannot be bothered to take it out. But I read The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, and I think I gave this book 3 stars out of 5 stars. I'm not completely sure. And the only reason why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars was because I was really having a hard time getting into the book. I had to get the audiobook so I could read it with it. And it was just a really hard time for me. Like, it was so slow, nothing was happening. The only thing, I think the only, like, the last 40 or 50 pages were like where everything was happening, and I think those were like the only few chapters that I really enjoyed out of like the millions. But this book is centered in one of the main characters, or one of the 4 boys. Well, yeah, 4 boys from the Raven Boys cycle. I don't know, I don't even know what this series is called, but it's a very popular series. So if you do not know what the Raven Boys is about, I cannot tell you, because I'm myself, I'm confused what the story is about. But this just follows or picks up right after the Raven Boys, and it was just a struggle. So I gave it 3 out of 4, no, not out of 4, out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I don't know when I'll be reading Lily Blue, because I just had a really sour taste in my mouth after reading The Dream Thieves. And a lot of people say that Lily Blue, it's much better than The Dream Thieves, so I'm hoping for that is true, because I just cannot. I cannot. The next book that I read was The Princess Saves Herself by Amanda Lovelace. This is also a collection of poetry, which a lot of people have been talking about, and again, this deals with very personal issues like anxiety, mental illness, heartbreak, family, and just like overall like self-love in some way. And I really enjoyed it. I really love this collection of poetry. Again, it's very fast-paced. I'm like kind of getting into poetry mostly because Gretchen, like, she wrote her own poetry book, and I really want to like read more poetry. So I started reading this, and I really enjoy it. Other people have read this, and it's a very feminist type of thing, and I really enjoy that. If you don't know that, I'm a feminist, so girl power. The next book that I read is If You Were Mine by Manly Harlow. This was our book for the month of April for my book club with Carol that I share with Carol, which is the Adulting Central, where we basically pick a book each month and we do a live discussion at the end of the month, and basically it. But this is regarding the genre of new adult. So we read this book. This book follows this girl who is very like an introvert, and she doesn't really date a lot, mostly because she self-thinks a lot. So she kind of hires someone to go on a wedding with her. So yeah, that's really where the story just kicks off, really. I think I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I think the only reason why I couldn't give it the 4 or even the 5 was because there's some things that I just didn't really like or were not very believable. That's really much all I can tell you without spoilers, but if you want to know what my real thoughts on it and Carol's thoughts on it, we did a whole live show about it and we really discussed it throughout, like everything, like character settings or things that we didn't like or liked. So I'm gonna link it down on the eye if you want to check it out. We did it on her channel, so there we go. The next book that I read, or that I heard, because I actually read this or heard this on an audiobook, and that is Unfiltered by Lily Collins. I really enjoyed this book. This is basically a memoir of Lily Collins and how she dealt with like an eating disorder, how her life was before getting famous, and how people talk about her eyebrows and like her family issues and stuff like that, how she just kind of overcame those issues, and how she's still today dealing with those issues, like the repercussions of it. And I really enjoyed it. I think it gave me a new side of Lily Collins, just because I have loved her ever since she was announced for the cast of Clary for the Mortal Instruments. And even though she didn't follow through with the project, like City of Ashes and all those things, I still follow her, like her film career, and I love her book. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, mostly because I don't know how to rate memoirs, but I mean 4 stars is a really good rating. I just couldn't give it the 5 because I don't know, I just couldn't give it the 5, but I really enjoyed her memoir. The book that I read is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, and this was actually the book for my other book club, which is Worlds of Words book club, and I really enjoyed this book. This follows our main character Simon, who is having like a pen pal relationship through emails with this other person who both share same interests in Tumblr, I guess you could call it. And this kind of deals with like high school issues and like self-identity and family sort of thing, and I really enjoy it. I did not expect to love it as much. This was the cutest book I've ever read. It follows there's a lot of diverse characters in here. I think Becky Albertalli really has very diverse characters in her books, and I really enjoy that. Our main character is gay, and I really love that. I don't know why it is about this book that makes me like squeal. Like there are some parts where I was just squealing, like of so much cuteness, and my boyfriend can, you know, verify that with you. But yeah, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. If you have not read this, go read it. And also this is gonna be a movie, so there's a lot of hype with it. But yeah, you should all go check this out. It's amazing. The next book that I read is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This is a most recent read. No, well, not really recent read, but it's the most recent new release that I've read. And I really enjoyed this. I read everything last year during Booktubeathon, and I was really excited to read this because this deals with immigration issues, and we have 2 diverse main characters. The female main character is Jamaican, and she's an immigrant from Jamaica, and then we have a Korean American who his family is an immigrant from Korea. So I really enjoyed this book a lot. I don't know what to say. I'm not a big fan of YA contemps. I think I've said this like over 1 million times on, you know, on my channel, but I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It just gives you something to think about, and I really enjoyed this book. So if you have not read it, I think you should all pick it up. It was really adorable, and I love also how, I mean, yes, it's kind of like not realistic in a sense, but then you get to the last few pages and it's like, okay, I see what you did there. I see. So I really enjoy this. The next book that I read is Saga, which is volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I think everyone by now knows this graphic novel. I really enjoyed it. I read this with my boyfriend out loud, and I really loved it. Like there were some things that were like, what? but nonetheless, I really enjoy it. Overall, I think this must be one of those graphic novels that I'm like gonna fall in love with. I ordered the rest of the saga, so I'm just waiting for that to ship because they have not shipped. It has not shipped. Shipped. But yeah, if you do not know what this book is about, it's basically about two lovers, or star-crossed lovers, I guess you could call it, but both of their species are after them because they kind of like being together is not correct, I guess you could call it. It's not politically correct, so they're running away from them and they have a child, and just things happen. I mean, you already know I'm really bad at giving you synopsis, but that's really that's really basically what this book is about. So what can I say? So yeah, those are all the books that I read in the month of April. So yeah, so please down in the comments down below, please tell me if you have read any of the books that I mentioned so we can discuss them. And yeah, or tell me what you're reading right now. I'm still currently trying to read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's just not been a great reading start for me, or reading month for me, but I'm getting there, and I really want to read Aquawar, and my book is not here either. So there was a tragic story behind that, but you don't want to hear it. I'll probably do a story time video if you want to hear about it, but it's really sad. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye! Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when